Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. So, here we have it, guys. This goes without saying. We're in a bull run right now. Bitcoin has been on a tear for the last little while, and as of the time of this recording, we are seeing a Bitcoin right now in and around $63,000. Now, as you guys know, many of the altcoins have been following Bitcoin. We've got extreme greed right now in the space, 86 as of the time of this recording. I don't know, of course, this number might depend based on what time you're watching this video or what day you're watching this video. But in the last 7 days, okay, we got Bitcoin. That has been the major leader in the space, up 22.32%. We've got Ethereum that is also doing quite well, up 16.45%. And the rest of the crypto market, by and large, has been doing fairly well. Bitcoin up 7.32. We got Solana's up 25.45%. XRP is up 11.37%. And other altcoins too, like Cardano, up 17% roughly. Dogecoin is up a whopping 57.67% in the last 7 days. So you can see altcoins are starting to gain traction here. Uniswap is up 47%. Shibcoin up 49%. I'm just going to take a look at some of these high-flying coins. Aptos up 27%. Okay, we've got Near Protocol. That's up 23. Injective is up 24.8. So you guys can see a trend here. A lot of coins doing fairly well. And, it's arguable. I don't think we're actually in an altcoin season yet. The reason I say that, guys, is because check it out up here. Bitcoin dominance still at 53%. So that means Bitcoin dominance compared to the other cryptocurrencies is still riding high. What usually happens is Bitcoin rides high, then Bitcoin crashes. But this comes after Bitcoin has reached a new all-time high, generally speaking. And if we were to just throw a typical Fibonacci here on the chart, and I bring it from the top of the last bull run, right up here, back from November of 2021, all the way to the trough of the market from back in November of 2022. Look at that, exactly 12 months. You can see Bitcoin has now surpassed the 0.786, but it has not yet reached all-time high, which is the one. And, generally speaking, what we tend to see is we see Bitcoin reach somewhere in and around here. Now, it did not make a full Fibonacci in the last run. It did not make it to the 4.236, but if we were to make it to the 4.236, that would bring a Bitcoin up to over $240,000 per coin. Now, I know a lot of you guys are probably thinking, okay, is that a lofty goal? Even 208,000 would bring us to the 3.618. And even if we only make it to the 2.618, guys, that would bring a Bitcoin over $150,000 per coin. So, it is still anybody's guess. If history were to repeat itself, we are eyeing somewhere in and around here, so over $200,000 per coin. But I'm not here to give you guys a prediction for Bitcoin. I'm here to alleviate your fears if this is your first bull run, or if you were underwhelmed by how XRP performed in the last bull run. You got to remember, and I'm sure you do, we did not reach all-time high in the last bull run. We were under the impression that XRP was going to perform way better than it did in the bull run of 2017, 2018. And, unfortunately, it did fall short. It only made it to the 0.5, losing momentum when we were hoping for a $13.54 XRP back in 2021. Of course, that never happened, and XRP retraced. Now, a few reasons for this, guys. Something you've got to remember. Remember the lawsuit? Yeah, it's very easy to forget when it's not always in our faces. The lawsuit really did stifle XRP trading in the United States. Remember all the cryptocurrency exchanges that delisted XRP? Do you guys remember that? And even if you weren't in the United States, you probably still remember that. A thing to keep in mind, guys, the United States is the biggest trader of cryptocurrencies. As a country, the largest volume of trading of cryptocurrencies goes through the US. And considering most U.S. cryptocurrency exchanges delisted XRP by 2021, you can see why we did not get that volume. We did not get excited traders trading XRP, and therefore it only hit about $1.96 per coin. So is this time going to be different? Well, we got to remember this time we're going into a bull run where Bitcoin is rallying first. It's, super, super healthy looking right now. Bitcoin's rallying first. And, as we've seen in the past, generally other coins start to rally alongside Bitcoin. But guys, every single time Bitcoin profits do get rolled back into the altcoin market. And we generally do see an altcoin rally once Bitcoin has reached a peak. So people, what generally they do is they, experienced traders, they will take their profits out of Bitcoin and throw them into altcoins. And this guys, this is when we're going to see cryptocurrencies like XRP. I mean, it's happened several times in the past. This is when we see them start to roll. So I know this is a bit of an anomaly. The Ripple SEC lawsuit really hindered XRP price appreciation back in 2021. So are we going to see something different this time? Well, from a few days ago, XRP price can reach 3 to 4 digits. If you guys remember, this is just from a few days ago. The Frankfurt Stock Exchange correspondent. What he said down here was that basically his predictions during a first wave of trading, we could see a $5 to $10 XRP. And then he said 3 to 4 digits. Well, I can imagine that will happen. I do have the video clip up here that I'm going to play for you guys again. Okay, just listen to this, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about price. So I'm going to narrate here because it is in German. So he says, I, of course, have certain hopes of selling ideas. I'll think about it when it's at $5 US. So from now, it's a tenfold increase at $10 US. I think that's really good. So these are the sizes that I initially think of. Excuse me. There are, of course, things like this on the internet that we can see 3 digits. It has to be 4 digits. Well, I can imagine that will happen. But until it gets to 3 digits, I'm sure because a wave of movement going up and down went out twice and went back. And in the sense of the first approach, we're here and I'm going to expose this in waves. Okay, so then he just goes on to talk about the waves. But he does say he can imagine an XRP price going from 3 to 4 digits, and this is going to be in another wave, not the first wave of XRP price appreciation, which that will see a $5 to $10 XRP, which, you know, if we had not been hindered in the last bull run, we could have in fact seen a $13 XRP, right, moving up to the 4.236. But that is just one example of somebody from the Frankfurt Stock Exchange discussing XRP price. The other thing I wanted to talk about was this. Some people are in. There's 2 different camps here. Okay, there's one camp suggesting that the height that we saw XRP go to back in 2021 was abysmal, and that because a new all-time high was not made, that's negative for XRP and the future price appreciation of XRP. But then there are other people like Peppa here at Moonshilla here on Twitter, exactly 7 years later after it rallied 65,000% in 300 days. This is what we are seeing on the chart today. Now, I talked about this in a video I did the other day, but guys, I'm going to expand on this concept here, this expanded bullish wedge pattern that we saw from 2014 all the way to 2017. So that spanned a 3-year period. We saw that pop to new all-time highs, and then we saw the same kind of pattern form here on the chart. So here, back in 2015, XRP did not make a new all-time high. And what we're seeing here, XRP did not make a new all-time high. Now, there are reasons for this, but guys, these chart patterns look very, very, very similar. So some are of the opinion that this time it's going to be different, and this time the XRP price has room to pop, mimicking what we saw back here in 2017, early 2018 really, but from late 2017 to early 2018. So how are we going to see this price appreciation, you ask? Well, I mean, it could be a mix of things. Bullish sentiment, pent-up demand for XRP in this coming bull run. Remember, 6 years ago, too, people have been speculating about this for a while. Can XRP realistically see prices in 3 digits, in the 3 digits? So those who have been following me will know that I am a huge fan of Ripple's XRP. Most people in the cryptocurrency community are really skeptical of XRP. They think of it as a banker's coin, as a centralized cryptocurrency. However, the reality is that with the Cobalt implementation in the near future, they are eventually lessening the impact of Ripple's node validators. Slowly but surely, they are going to be as decentralized as they can be. So some of this information is a bit outdated, but because of all the partnerships that we've been seeing over the last several years now, I think this concept is more solid than ever, actually. He goes on to say, most people will argue that XRP can never see prices in the 3 digits because they point out the market cap argument, basically suggesting that because there is so many XRP in the ecosystem. Here, let's just go over here and let's click on XRP here and just bring you guys up to the circulating supply. So right now we have about 54.5 billion XRP circulating. But guys, the total supply is 100 billion XRP less the XRP that has been burnt. for transaction purposes. And because Ripple does keep dumping XRP into the ecosystem every month through the escrow, that just kind of increases supply. So the market cap just can never get fully flushed out. It cannot grow as much as some of those other coins can grow. And so this is this was one of the bigger arguments from even several years ago. At a price of $100, XRP will have a market cap of more than $4 trillion. That is a humongous figure and looks extremely far-fetched. That is more than the GDP of some developing countries even. However, what one needs to understand is what real-life problems does XRP solve. The answer is that it solves a huge $27 trillion liquidity problem. Money is right now stored in Nostro and Vostro accounts, and to be honest, even 6 years later, we're still seeing these banks holding on to Nostro and Vostro accounts. I mean, I'm still trying to figure out why, but we're not moving as fast as we really should be moving in terms of transforming the banking sector. It's happening, guys. It's happening before our eyes, but it's like it's like an explosion in slow motion, I guess, maybe. We're hearing of these partnerships. We're hearing, the news. We're hearing financial institutions, talk about usage and, adopting cryptocurrency. And there's these deadlines, the ISO 20022 and so on and so forth. But I think what everybody's really expecting is just a big bang of liquidity, a big bang, a huge transformation, boom, in the blink of an eye. And it's kind of unfortunate because we're just not seeing it happen in that way. But guys, it will happen. And, eventually these banks are going to get off their Nostro and Vostros. I mean, they have to be very careful too, don't forget. They can't just move on to new technology and just expect it to work and just, expect a big bang and boom, here we are on a new system. Everything takes time and, unfortunately, because of unforeseen consequences as well, a lot of these things are taking a lot more time than we thought. And even the people at Ripple, we thought, or they thought that we would be further ahead than we are. So money is stored in Nostro and Vostro accounts by banks around the world in different currencies in which they need to make foreign exchange payments. XRP usage will act as a bridge currency and will free up this currency, which can be efficient for capital usage. At 25% of a $27 trillion market problem, we could see XRP crossing a price of $100. That's not even considering the multiplier effect that will happen. So in reality, much less a 25% adoption by banks is enough to skyrocket the volume and eventually the price. The other thing I wanted to bring up is this, guys. This goes along with the argument that XRP was built to be $10,000 per coin. Even if you just look at the amount, the smallest unit, known as drops, you can buy fractions of XRP. In fact, a single XRP is divisible to up to 6 decimal places. So that means you can divide it 0.000001 being the smallest unit, known as a drop. 1 XRP is equivalent to 1 million drops. So another theory is this, and this is why, some of us are theorizing that XRP was actually built to be $10,000 per coin. Why would you have it divisible to up to 6 decimal places unless you were expecting XRP to be such a large value that you would have to divide by so many decimal places? Think about Bitcoin, guys. Think about, having 0.003 of a Bitcoin is still worth a few hundred or a few $1,000s. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of the math off the top of my head, but you get my point here. So because of this and this alone, we are to assume that XRP was built to be a high enough price to attract big banks and financial institutions to solve for that $27 trillion problem. So how do we get there? Does this wedge mean something, or am I just out of my mind? Let's take a look at XRP price right now, guys, and let's just kind of gauge the chart here in detail. So one of the things I wanted to show you guys was this. Let's take a look at this peak here, guys, and if you retrace back down to the base here, we're down about 85%. This was back from November of 2014. Actually, the top here was December 2014, but then moving all the way here until December 15, you can see over that year, XRP did decrease by 85% specifically, and that was on the second mount here of that ascending triangle wedge. I'm just going to get rid of some of this here just to clear this up. So there's that point, and if we were to draw that same correction here on the chart, what do we get? Boom, 85%. So from that second top down to the bottom, down to the trough, we're looking at 80. Whoops, we're looking at, what am I doing here? Get rid of that. No, I do not want the eraser. Let's throw that back on there. So let me just throw that back on here. So 85% right in there. First thing. Now let's take a look at this, From over here, when you guys see this this last pump before we saw that decline. We're looking at around 45%, a 45% decline over here back in 2017 before XRP really blew off top. And what are we finding here, guys? From the top here, about 45%. Well, that's a wick. So somewhere in between 42 to 48%. If we take that somewhere in the middle, that is about 45%, okay? From the time that we got the SEC lawsuit verdict up until the base before we start to see liftoff. So you guys can see these percentages are even just matching up just based on sheer numbers. So now here's where it gets interesting, okay? Because I got to throw the Fibonacci down on here. And as you guys can see, I'm going to put the Fibonacci up here and line up the top to the 0.236. And when you line that up, guys, the first pump here gets us to the 1.618, and that was around 40 cents per XRP. Okay, all things considered, if we were to take that same Fibonacci and put it here on the chart, what would we get here, guys? And I'm just going to take that off auto because we do need to bring that up to the 0.236, and I'm just going to get rid of that. But if we put a price target on here, that's going to get us up back to about $11.81. So a good start, even considering even if we were to just take the full fib and bring it, do a traditional fib from the top of the, all-time high all the way to the trough of the market, we would get somewhere in the $13 mark. So even looking at this, bringing up the Fibonacci to the 2.36 and then maxing out at the 1.618, we're still at $11.81. But don't forget, that wasn't the top. XRP still did rally roughly 600 and even more than that, roughly 722% to all-time high from this point here, okay, from the 1.618 all the way to all-time high. If we were to take 722%, okay, for all intents and purposes, we're just doing this as a demonstration here. This gets us very, very, very close, guys, to a 3-digit XRP, $98. So very, very close. And again, I'm really trying to get this as accurate as possible. Let's see if we can get it right in there. And what would that be? $99. Okay, let's call it $100 for the sake of argument. So does this lend credibility to this argument here? The fact that, maybe this wasn't 2 bull runs and maybe it's just an ascending wedge, a triangular formation pattern that is becoming overextended here on this chart. And guys, you know what they say, once the pattern becomes overly extended, that just means there's more pent-up demand and the price could go even higher. So, at $99, that is very, very close to 3 digits. Let's take a look at one more thing before capping off this video, and that would be right over here. If we were to take XRP from right before blast off here, okay, and take it all the way to all-time high, right over here, we would see an XRP go up about 62,300%, okay? And guys, we're getting there. We are so close to getting there right now. Right now, XRP is trading at about 61 cents. So, maybe we can assume that we're about to take off here. If we go up 62,400%, okay, 62,000, where are we here? 62,400% roughly. That would in fact bring us to an XRP worth about $340.50 per coin, sitting squarely and firmly in that 3-digit price point. So this correspondent from the Frankfurt Stock Exchange, he can imagine that it'll happen. And considering XRP is divisible by 6 spaces, I have no doubt in my mind that 62 cents is just the beginning and that we could in fact see 3 digits one day. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.